Life is so beautiful. What a gift it is to be alive. How we as human beings have realized and come to a group knowing of our divinity and knowing how connected we are to Source, to God, the Creator, and how life is not about work. It's not about working hard. It's not about, putting all this energy into doing things when really we're here to attract. And we are here to receive. And when we align to higher frequencies, then we are really in alignment, right? We can create anything. That's our gift. We are creators, created by Divine Source. But, we've been conditioned to believe since a child that everything in life is revolved around work. Even down to, what do you want to do when you grow up? I said this in another video, but those kind of questions are programming us to believe that our only point of existence, our only purpose of existing is work. You know what I mean? And it's not. We're so much more than that. Our purpose is to live. When you reflect and you look at nature, it's to flow, right? It's to live and to flow and to breathe and to trust. We live in this world, in this society. I wish I could get the water, baby, but water is the highlight. Created by man, by white man to be specific, that we don't get to honor living. You know what I mean? That peace really is free, and we're all really free. Living life is free. And how beautiful that is. How beautiful just living and being alive really is. We take the present for granted because we're always so focused on the future. And really they're all living in one. The past, future, present is all one. We have the power and the ability to create, to recreate and rewrite history, and to create the future, quote unquote, right? But it's a mass awakening, and it's beautiful because through this we have the ability to change, to expand consciousness and to change the vibration of Earth. This is all going back into the 5D, right? Got my book right here. I highly recommend this book. This is my second time reading it. But waking up in the 5D, so real. Because we're here. All we're here to do is to love and to live and to do what we love. And through the doing and receiving of the gifts that we have and living and with that purpose, then everything aligns. You know what I mean? I quit my job a week ago, a week and a half almost, and I feel freer. I won't say freer than I ever felt. I'm not gonna lie. When I was in Brazil, I felt the freest I ever felt, but I feel very free and liberated because I'm in a high energy of knowing that I am already living in my dream reality. Every day I get up and I affirm and I speak and I write like all my dreams are here for me, because that is the true gift of manifestation, right? Is to feel good. We all feel good. Okay, sorry, I had to check if I was recording. But the true act of manifesting is feeling good. It's not about doing 100 different things. Yeah, writing, scripting, rituals, all that stuff is cool, but like on a higher level, and those things will attract things more quickly. But I feel like really it's just the energy of feeling good and already feeling like you are living that life. That is the fastest way to attract anything to you, is to, yes, there's one girl on TikTok, she says method acting. Yes, to live in your imagination. Live in your imagination every day like it's already here. That is the strongest gift of all. I remember the year when I manifested so much shit and I didn't even really understand it, but it was because I was living alone. And honestly, I'll be talking to myself. I have a very vivid imagination. So sometimes I'll be talking to myself, but I'm talking as if I'm already pretending I'm in a reality, which is crazy. But it's not crazy. It's delusion that creates a reality, because delusions create illusions. And I'll be in my mirror. I would be in my mirror just talking to myself like, yeah. I love it here. Oh, yeah. Just literally pretending I'm in a whole reality that hasn't happened yet, but I see it. I have a really good gift of vision. I can see everything. Anything in my head, I can see and I can feel it. Even if feeling this wind right here and being by the water, I can see myself in the ocean in Thailand, in Phuket. Fuck you mean? Like, baby, I'm here. My visions are clear, you know? So it's just a gift. We all have them within us, though. It's all imagination. It's all about really connecting to that inner child, because that's when we are our purest, most divine beings. That's why I love being around my siblings. That's why I feel as if Source created me to have such a large gap between my siblings, so then I would be at this age of remembrance and remembering why I was here and who I am, and not being so caught up in the system of what life and success is supposed to look like and what we've been conditioned to believe it's supposed to look and feel like. You know what I mean? And I'm grateful for this time where I don't have to, be working super hard to live. I'm very grateful for the time I have with my mom right now, but I know it's time to go as well. Been feeling that heavily, so it's like more and more I'm just already knowing and grateful for the amazing opportunities I have in London, because I feel it. I've seen the signs and synchronicities hella, and it's like, just go. I already know that there's a wonderful space and place waiting for me, opportunities, doors waiting for me. So they're really already open. You know what I mean? I just got to put myself there, and I already see myself there. I write about how grateful I am to sleep and wake up in my beautiful sunlit apartments with ceiling to floor windows, French doors, listening to Cleo Soul and Salt. You can't tell me I'm a Brit. You can't tell me I'm not a Brit. In spirit. But yeah, just saying, like, our gift is our imagination. And I said that before, but like more and more I'm really coming into a deeper remembrance after working hella. I was working so much for like 7 months, and I was happy, the money was good and whatever. But then it would be times where I'm like, why am I working so hard? Like, why am I really working so hard for people to tip me sometimes shit, and of course, you get blessed sometimes, and that those moments remind you like, oh, this is such amazing, But it's deeper than money. I enjoy serving for the field of just making people's day and creating an experience that they can remember. But it's like, really, my gift really is to teach and inspire. Like, I started training at a job I was working 4 months in, because I was so proficient in what I do. And more and more, the more I've been sitting and just listening and trusting and like, what my calling is beyond just creating, right? Because I always talk about the movie Soul to people, and I'm like, Soul is such a prime example of how your spark is not your purpose, right? And how he realized that when I'm getting more realizations right now, how teaching, teaching, it was really the joy, and like showing people how to live or how to do and experience, and that kind of thing was more than just creating. It's deeper than that, and I realized that for myself too. Like, I've been doing sewing lessons, and it's beautiful to see how people open up their imagination and how I'm helping them connect deeper with themselves, and seeing them also create their own stuff from what I've taught them is beautiful. And I feel like that is really one of my gifts, is to teach, and I'm learning that more and more now. And now I've been teaching, now I'm ready to really get into like my life coaching and teaching, because I'm an ancient being. I've been here many times. I feel as if my soul knows so much, and I've always been like that since a kid. I've always known, and I've always manifested things really easily as a kid, you know what I mean? So it's really just, it's deeper than belief. I think before I said it's the power of belief, and the power of belief is definitely powerful, but it's the trusting and the knowing that everything in my life is divine and in alignment. And at any moment, and if I'm listening to my highest self and to what feels good, right? That's the biggest thing, is to know what truly feels good to you. You know what I mean? And it's not on a material level, but what feels good in your heart and your body and your soul and your spirit. So many of us have lost connection to our feeling. That's why we have people this generation, we have people that are modern day drug addicts, alcoholics, all of these things, and they aren't even aware of it, just because it's become normalized, right? And everybody is using something to block the pain. And when you do that, you block your feeling. And our feeling is our gift, you know, to feel good. And what feels good, you won't even know, because you're blocking and trying to numb what feels bad. So then what's really bad for you feels good, because now you don't feel anything. And I've said this before too, is that numb shit, you can't be numb. You have to sort through your emotions. Emotions are powerful. They're energies in motion. That's all emotions are. So when you learn to just allow yourself to feel, but also not get caught up in them, and just understand a feeling is a feeling, you know what I mean? And just let it go. Let it flow. Let it come through you and leave through you. And when you realize, like, I keep my vessel very clear. I'm not a very emotional person. And it's not saying that in a bad way, but I feel like I am pretty stoic. Like, I see things in more of an understanding. I think I understand everything. And I understand why I had to feel what I had to feel in that moment. And I understand why this experience had to be what it is. It's for me to learn. You know what I mean? That's all life is. It's just a learning. We're in earth school. This is a school where you just learn, and you fuck up, and you pray to learn. You know what I mean? That's the biggest thing, is people don't realize is we're living in cycles, and every day is a new day, and the sun sets and the sun rises. The sun sets and rises, the moon appears, and what are they moving in a cycle? Our days are in cycles, our lives in a cycle, the clock is in a cycle. We live in a cyclical nature. So if you don't break out of certain cycles, then you'll be stuck in them forever. Ooh, bitch, I'm spitting. Okay. But yeah, if you don't break out of certain cycles, you will stay in them forever. And that's why I quit my job, because it's like, I just was like, damn, this is getting too familiar. Like, every day is feeling like a simulation, right? And that's when you got to break out of that stuff. That's why you got to do the random stuff. That's why you got to take risks. That's why you got to take leaps of faith. Because if not, then you get so accustomed to being in one cycle of life that you don't move to your next cycle. I'm also reading another book called The Big Leap. I think that's what it's called. And it's a wonderful book, just speaking on how we have different zones, right? And different levels of life and feeling, right? And like our levels of our limits, right? Our limits of success. So for me, there's like zone of genius is your highest, then you have zone of excellence, then you have zone of competence and zone of incompetence, or I don't know, I'm not going to say verbatim because I've only read like the first 30 pages. But for me, like, zone of excellence was probably me serving. I was really great at serving. Like, I have really great flow, but I was like, but if I'm putting this much energy and I can get to a level of damn near mastery and flow with serving, then I could really do that with what I love if I really sat down and did it. If I really put the time and energy and focus into it, I'm a billionaire. I remember somebody told me that at work. He said, you're a billionaire. What? You can see it in me. It's in you. It's in the energy. It's in the way you move, the way you think. You know what I mean? All these things. So then I was like, well, it's time. It's time to stop being comfortable. It's time to push and be to be uncomfortable, so then I can grow, so then I can really learn and do new things and explore what is really here for me in its existence, and not just doing the same things because it's easy, right? Things are supposed to be easy, but at the same time, they shouldn't be easy, and then you're not really learning, and you're not really, progressing in life. Everything comes to us with ease, right? Everything flows to us with ease. And I already know this next step of my life is coming and flowing with ease. But when it becomes, where there's no growth, then to me, then that's where it shouldn't be like that. You know what I mean? But we do want life to be easy. Life is easy. The biggest thing that we have to detach ourselves from, even with the whole working, is that we are supposed to suffer. We have to let go of any type of belief and programming and conditioning that has taught us to believe that suffering equates, in any part of our life. That we have to suffer in any aspect of our life. No, we don't. We don't. You don't have to suffer to be successful. You don't have to suffer to be abundant. You don't have to suffer to be worthy of receiving. You don't have to work hard. You don't. You just have to align yourself to that energy, to that frequency, and know that it's already yours. Live in knowing that every moment, every experience is divine, is aligned for your highest good, and trust and know it is. And so it is. And stop looking at things that is good or bad. Stop looking at the polarity. There is nothing that is, even for me, like that's something I'm continuously working on, but negative and positive and good and bad and light and dark, it's all one. And when you understand that and you live in the deep feeling of understanding, you see that, oh, well, this is just this. Oh, this is just that. Nothing's really bad. Even if things don't go my way, doesn't mean it was bad. It just wasn't supposed to happen that way. And that's okay. I trust in that. I know that, okay, well, next time when this opportunity arises, or if it does, or if it doesn't, then I'm not doing this. And if it does, then I'm doing that. And so it is. We can't get caught up on things we can't control. But we also don't want to look at things as good or bad. Nothing's good or bad. People aren't good and bad. I see the goodness in everybody. You know what I mean? We all have a heart. We all have the capacity to love in some way, shape, or form. Some of us may have forgotten, but we all can be awakened. So that's it. That's my TED Talk for the day. I just had to come because I know it's been a while, and I love to share the wisdom that I have. And I realize it's really a gift, and people come to me and ask me like questions about their lives, because I give them honest and truthful and reflective answers, you know what I mean? And I'm not going to side with you just because I'm friends with you or just because I understand where you're coming from, but I like to look at things at all perspectives and all, deep knowings and understanding of life, because everything is everything. Everything is connected. Everything is one. We are all here just to live and to feel good and to receive, and we can create nothing out of something. Okay? And I'm not a big religious person, but I feel like I want to read the Bible because I want to deeply understand the allegory, right? Because all of these religions are just allegories of life, and I do think about how Jesus, he made food and bread and out of nothing, he was at a high frequency where he was creating out of love. And that is what we're here to do. That is the example of what man is supposed to be. You know what I mean? It's not to worship, but it's to embody that energy and that spirit of just being so high in love and high in that frequency that you just receive. And you're so one with God and Source, the Creator, that you can literally make anything out of a figment of imagination. Y'all go watch Hook. I'm gonna watch Hook too as well. Such a wonderful movie. I love it. It's about Peter Pan and Neverland, and in Neverland everything is imagination. Flying, the food, it's such a beautiful movie because it speaks on how you create with your imagination. What a gift it is to be alive. What a gift it is to imagine and create and to live in your imagination and the wildest dreams. Living your wildest dreams. Don't let anybody shorten or dim your light of what you want your life to be. We are here and we are godly beings who can create anything. I love you. I love you. You're infinite. You're infinite. You're magical. Life is magical.